Hello, everyone in YouTube land, Nintendo fanboy 07 back here as always. Alright, this is going to be a different video, as you can see with the title there. Obviously my channel is a gaming related channel. I talk about games, that's all I talk about, Nintendo and gaming, but this is going to be a gaming related video, but at the same time talk about movies and, as you can see with the title there, Marvel movies, alright? Something controversial happened over the last couple days, week, whatever. If you haven't seen it. If you've been living under a rock, well, let me explain it to you. Martin Scorsese, for those that don't know who he is, directed Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, just a lot of very iconic movies. You know, some are not my type of movies. I like Taxi Driver, I like Cape Fear, I love Shutter Island, okay? Okay, he came out and said that Marvel movies are not real cinema. I don't exactly the quote, okay? Something along the lines of, they're not real cinema. I don't know how long this video will be, but I can go on all day about this, okay? Like I said, there's quite a few things that happened that followed that. A lot of people backing up Marvel, a lot of people siding with Martin Scorsese. And again, this is going to be gamer related, so just hold tight. Maybe you are interested in this video, even if I'm not talking about games. So you're probably wondering, how does video games play into this? I'll get into it, okay? Hold your horses. Chill out. Okay, Martin Scorsese said that Marvel movies are not real cinema. I mean, you're always going to get older directors or the older generation that just doesn't understand something, and they come out and they attack it. Okay? That's just how it is. And believe me, video games do come into play in here. Like I said, I'll explain myself. I have to explain myself in this video. But yeah, you always get those older, timey directors that come out. This never happens in games, does it? I don't even know, like, when an older game developer comes out and says, that's not real gaming, blah, 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 whatever. But for some reason in movies, they always have those old directors come out and say, this is not real cinema, or this is whatever. Just like when Steven Spielberg came out and said, Netflix movies should not win awards, or something like that, right? Which is utter fucking bullshit. Okay, they're movies, okay? Someone directed them, someone wrote it, someone shot it, people act in it, there's a story, there's character. I mean, there's elements in there that make it a movie. It's a fucking movie, okay? It's a movie you watch, it's a story, okay? The Marvel movies are just like that. They're fucking movies, okay? They have a director, they have a script. They have a script. What do you mean it's not real cinema? And I think I know where he's coming from when I'm trying to see it. Anytime when I disagree with something, I always try to see it their way. I always try to step in their shoes, and I go, okay, well, maybe he's kind of right in a way. I can see where he's coming from, but I disagree with it, though. And that's what's so great. You can just agree to disagree, or whatever. Marvel movies are cinema, okay? They're genre movies. They're sci-fi. They're a little bit of fantasy, okay? Just like Star Wars. We wouldn't have Marvel movies if it wasn't for Star Wars. That is just a cold, hard fact. Star Wars changed everything. Before Star Wars, what did you have when it came to, like, mind-blowing fucking movies? I mean, you had Psycho, you had Jaws, okay? Jaws changed everything, okay? Before that, before Star Wars, it was Jaws. People were talking about Jaws, man, Psycho. You had the golden age of era of films, was, you know, the 40s and all that stuff. Everyone says 40s is the golden age of, you know, Casablanca and all this other stuff. It's just like, but these old-timey directors don't identify with Marvel movies because, and he also said, oh, it's like a theme park ride and all this other stuff. Why? Because it has CGI and visual effects? You can't make these movies without CGI and visual effects. It's impossible. There's no way to make a Marvel movie or a movie like Avatar or whatever, right? Look at Alita Battle Angel. You can't make a movie like that without CGI or some sort of visual effects. But it's still a movie, though. You have characters there that you care about. You have good writing. You have good directing. You have everything. You have a script you have all these elements that come together to make a movie, okay? It is real cinema. It's escapism. Like I said, Star Wars did everything. It changed movies. It changed culture. It was a cultural phenomenon, man. To say Marvel movies are not real cinema is saying that Star Wars is not real cinema, or Back to the Future. For crying out loud, it's like these movies change people's lives, man. They're genre movies. People love these movies. To say that Marvel movies are not real cinema is saying like the old 50s sci-fi movies are not real cinema. That's just utter ridiculous. A lot of directors that I love, like John Carpenter and hell, even George Lucas, they were inspired by Flash Gordon and all this other stuff. Like George Romero and John Carpenter was inspired by The Thing, Howard Hawks' The Thing. He remade it. John Carpenter's The Thing. So you can't say that Marvel movies are not real cinema, because it is. My point is, they're based off comic books. Has Martin Scorsese, and also I should get to Francis Ford Coppola, obviously the director of Godfather. He said that they're despicable or something like that. It's like that's just ridiculous. Okay, I'm not going to talk about them that much in this video. It's just stupid. You can't say they're despicable. Okay, they may be not your type of movies, or the movies that probably you don't want to make, like your gangster type movies and the movies about the mob and all that sort of stuff and crime stuff, which I do like some crime movies. I'm not a fan of Godfather. I think it's highly overrated. But again, that's my opinion. You can disagree with it. I think it's well made, but I just don't like the subject matter. But Marvel movies, they're based off comic books, okay? These are characters and stories that have been around for fucking 50, 60, decades, man. Avengers, hello, Guardians of the Galaxy, all these, Iron Man, Spider-Man. You can't say they're not real cinema. They're adapted for comic books, and they're made into movies, and they're cinema. People go to the theater, people watch them, okay? These are characters and stories that people care about. It's no different than a fucking movie based off of a novel like Harry Potter. Is Harry Potter not real cinema too? Where do you draw the line? Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola and other directors that disagree with this. Is Steven Spielberg up there too? Next, going to come out of the woodwork and say that Marvel movies are not cinema also, and all these other. He's made so many movies that are like Marvel movies. He Close Encounters, E.T. I mean, you can go on and on. Indiana Jones. Like, he's made movies that are like that are fantastical and just bigger than life. You know, that's what it is. That's why people go to movies, to escape, and that's what Marvel movies are. Marvel movies today are what Star Wars was in the 70s and 80s. That's what it was. It was a universe. It's a movie universe. That's really what Star Wars was, even though it was inspired by other things. But it's still a universe that George Lucas created. It wasn't based off a comic book or anything else. It was his own mind. But Marvel movies today, when it's brought to film, that's what it is. It's the new Star Wars for the new generation, and our generation. Even though I'm a man in his 30s now, and when Iron Man came out, I was probably, God, I can't believe it's been that long since MCU came out. I don't know, I was like 21 or 22 when the first Iron Man came out. So it's been a while, man. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since the MCU came out. And these movies make a lot of money. Just because something makes a lot of money doesn't make it good. I get that. But obviously people like them, and they want to see these stories adapted. I like them. They look cool. They're awesome. It's eye candy. But at the same time, you can't make these movies without CGI or visual effects or some green screen. There is no fucking way. Same with back in the day when you had practical effects. There's no way to make the movie without that. You have to. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of things like that Iron Man suit. I mean, why are you saying it's not real cinema? It doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, I'm gonna move on to gaming now. Now, like I said before, I said that anytime when I disagree with someone, I try to see their point of view, and I go, okay, they like their type of movie, that old-timey 40s, 50s, 60s, their way of making movies and their stories and their whatever. Now I'm going to talk about games now. Now you're thinking, like, what does this have to do with games? Like, what does this have to do with games? I have a very weird opinion about games, okay? It's a very weird opinion, so I guess we're all guilty of having strange hang-ups, okay? We all have weird things that we don't like. We like different things, okay? But I still disagree with Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola about Marvel movies and all that stuff. I disagree. I really do. But like I said, when it comes to gaming, if you've been watching my videos for a long time, you know I'm a massive Nintendo fan. Now, again, I'm going to be a hypocrite here. Even though games and movies are two different mediums of entertainment, I hate using this term because I'm going to be attacked for this, but I like real games. Real games. And so I'm using quotes. I'm even attacking myself now saying this. But when I mean my real games, I don't mean cinematic type games or games with tons of QTEs in them, which are quick time events for those that don't know. Obviously, if you watch this, you know what QTEs are. Just cutscenes and set pieces like Uncharted and all these like Heavy Rain and just all these games, right? To have these set pieces and just games that are just like movies. I don't want to play out in a movie. I want to play a game that has gameplay in them, not just the game playing itself. So that's the reason why I wanted to make this video too. I wanted to talk about that, you know, the whole Marvel thing and what they said about Marvel, but I also wanted to make a gaming related video too in that, because I have my weird opinion, because I love both. I'm a fan of both games and movies, so I have my weird opinions about games. And I know a lot of people will disagree with me on that, okay? Because I don't like that mindless bullshit in games. I mean, look at the okay, back to Marvel. Look at the Avengers. I just thought of that right now. Look at the Avengers game that's coming out from Crystal Dynamics or whatever. Yeah, they made Tomb Raider. It looks like shit. It looks like the game's playing itself. It's just like you play as each Avenger, right? Hulk, Black Widow, Captain America, Iron Man, whatever, Thor. You're playing as all these characters. Obviously, the characters themselves don't look good, but you're playing as each one of these characters. It's like an action game, obviously. If you've seen gameplay of it, to me, that's not a real game. It's just playing itself, and it's just kind of like doing whatever it wants to do. You have some few moments of like beat 'em up type action in it, but it's just not. There's no freedom in it. You're just kind of like, whatever. I don't like stuff like that. It's mindless, it's dumb, it's a lazy game development, okay? Many people will disagree with me on that. They're like, I enjoy it, it's fun. To me, it's not fun, because games are supposed to be interactive entertainment, not playing itself or just having you coast through it, in a way. I don't like that. I come from an old school standpoint when it comes to games, where I'm like, I want to play the game, okay? I don't want to just push a couple buttons and then set the controller down and let it play itself, because that's stupid. So again, I have my weird opinions about games. I have my weird opinions about like stuff like that. So we all have our weird opinions. We all come from different backgrounds and stuff like that. And I just wanted to do this video because I wanted to put my 2 cents out there. I do disagree with Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola about the Marvel thing. But again, I also want to talk about video games because I have my weird opinion about video games too, so it makes me look like a hypocrite, so I wanted to point that out. Yeah, we all have our weird hang-ups and our weird things that we like and dislike. So, I don't know. But again, I am standing my ground on the Marvel thing and saying Marvel movies are cinema. It's the future of cinema too. I don't want to forget about that. That's, obviously, you're looking at the title. Obviously, I'm doing the video right now. It's not that, but that'll be the title of the video. You're seeing that right now. Marvel movies are the future of cinema. And yeah, but again, like when it comes to gaming, I have my weird opinions about games too, because I'm old school in a way. Obviously I love a lot of new games too, but it's just at the same time there are some games out there that I'm just like, I'm not a fan of. Like look at Resident Evil. Like I don't like Resident Evil, the newer Resident Evil games like 5 and 6 and all that, because it's QTs and random dumb action bullshit. Especially 6. I don't want to go off on a tangent here. It feels like I am. Comment down below on what you think about just all this stuff. We all have our weird opinions about things. Chime in on the Marvel thing too, and gaming related stuff too that you have. Like weird opinions about games. Any weird opinions that you have about games and just things that you don't like and all that good stuff. So comment down below. Peace out. More random videos coming soon. Later. Bye.